Well, hello to and welcome to episode 44. Just getting myself set up here. I'm still a newbie in this kind of live streaming format. Episode 44. Make sure to turn the camera on this time. That's probably the main focus for me. Hello to everyone who's turned up, all my loyal subscribers, followers. Just to get another episode of the GolfRules questions podcast, or in this case live stream. No Roscoe again, unfortunately. Our schedules are just not gelling at the moment, but I'm sure he'll be back soon. He misses it, I know he does. He's still got his own podcast going on over there at My Love of Golf, but he'll be back for GolfRules questions as soon as he can. So firstly, let's go over the answer for episode 42. Episode 42. In agreement, a player and their opponent stop their match due to weather conditions. In agreement, a player and their opponent stop their match due to the weather conditions. They agree to return the next day and start at 8 AM. Firstly, is this permissible for a player and opponent to agree to suspend their match? And secondly, when they come back, do they start from where they left off or from their first hole with the score being all square? So firstly, yes, it is permissible for a player and an opponent to agree to suspend play, unless doing so would delay the competition. So that's under Rule 5.7. Then as soon as one player wants to go back out, the other player must also resume. Secondly, when the match does get started again, do the players start again from their first hole all square, or do they carry on from where they left off? Yes, you are correct. They carry on from where they left off. So if someone was 7 up with 9 to play, I'm sure that they would want to carry on from where they suspended play rather than going back to the first and being all square. So this question actually, I was writing the answer for it last night. It actually brought a question to my mind. What if the opponent doesn't want to go back out because it is too dark? Will the committee agree or disagree with the opponent? And I've come to the decision that, and I'm checking this one, definitely, but I've come to the decision that considering the committee would suspend play due to bad light, you would think they would agree with the opponent under reasonable circumstances. So if it was 7 o'clock in the middle of winter, when you couldn't play golf, then the opponent states, I'm not going back out because it's too dark. The player wants to go back out. I think the opponent would have a case and would be able to, and their committee would agree with them on that one. So, just catching up on some rules videos that I've posted in the last 5 or so weeks. JT Poston, ball out of bounds. So JT Poston hit his ball so close to an out of bounds line that the referee, Steve Carman, and assistant had to use a piece of string to determine if the ball was out. The string was placed at the bottom of each stake at ground level on the course side and pulled tightly. No part of the ball crossed that piece of string, so it was deemed to be out of bounds. Thankfully, JT had played a provisional ball down the middle of the fairway and so headed straight to that. Unlucky for JT, he lost in a playoff. I think that was an 8-hole playoff with Harris English. Correct me if I'm wrong. I should just go and watch the video. So the interesting thing about that was the fact that the referee and his assistant used a piece of string, and they were literally looking down on top of it. I mean, it was so close, like seriously 6-7 millimeters. And the player was like, yeah, but how are we sure that the ball doesn't go underneath the rope? It was it was a crazy question to ask, but he asked it nonetheless. I guess, you know, when his ball was that close to being out of bounds and he's leading the tournament, you definitely want to try anything to, you know, for the referee to say that the ball was still in bounds. He ended up making a double, and as I said, he got into the playoff. So yeah, the important thing about that out of bounds is that if it's defined by stakes or even defined by a fence, not many people know this, but if it's defined by a fence, it's the posts that determine the line. It's not if you've got wire on the line on the fence. It's not if you've got netting on the fence. It's the posts that determine the out of bounds, and it's from ground level on the course side, not the other side of the fence. Not the back side of the fence. It's from ground level on the course side. So, yeah, very interesting one for me, I would say. Now, next one we got Gary Woodland. He played the 18th at the 3M Open. I think this was on the third round or fourth round. Anyway, might have been the third round. He hit his ball so far right that it went right of the penalty area. I mean, this is a dogleg right around a penalty area, and he's hit it so far right, it was nearly out of bounds, but it wasn't. You could see the white stakes in the video, and it's actually between the penalty area and the out of bounds in the rough. And Gary's managed to get a three-wood or hybrid metal onto the ball, and he had a bit of a backboard up the back of the 18th, because that 3M Open, it's just completely hospitality around the back end. And so he just, he got it. I mean, he hit the green, but it rolled out, and he knew that if he flew it a little bit further, he was going to be off the backboard back onto the green or whatever. But it just got so close to the hospitality that the hospitality, as we all know, is a TIO, a temporary immovable obstruction, and he was able to get free relief under rule 16.1. So he called the referee to assist him because he had interference with his swing. It was just touching, and it was interesting. The referee, gave him the ruling, gave him free relief under 16.1. He said, come out this way to find your nearest point of relief. And the player's always like, I'll try and get as far away from this thing as possible. Like nearest point of complete relief could be 2 inches from the ball, could be 1 inch from the ball, could be 15 centimeters from the ball, which is 6 inches. But they tend to try and give themselves like a lot more space. It's really strange to see, but the referee helped him in getting back into the correct position, and he took a drop and put it on the green, but unfortunately missed his putt for birdie. Now, the next one, this one here, Rule 13.3, is always a favourite of mine because I don't think that they pick it up on tour as much as they should. So the video on YouTube of Pujari Ananarukan played her shot out of a bunker and then deliberately took her time to get to the ball. I mean, you could see that she deliberately took her time to get to the ball. She was delaying her play by hanging around her bag and her caddy. And then when she eventually got there, I mean, this ball was overhanging the hole. So she's hit it out of a bunker. It's almost dropped. It's over the hang in the hole. She's delayed her play, and then when she got up there, she pretended like she was working out how to line the ball up. And then eventually put her shadow over the ball, to which the ball dropped in. Now, unfortunately, the footage only shows the bunker shot, but the scorecard does say that she made a 3 on the hole, leading us to believe that the committee either penalised her for taking too long, or they didn't, but she had an extra shot in the bunker that we didn't see on the coverage. Now the video, I've written it up as that the committee missed it, but I don't, looking back on the scorecard, I don't think they did. Unless we've missed a shot somewhere. So, but, you know, I'm hopeful that they saw that she was mucking around. On the PGA Tour, they would have said that was hold out. They wouldn't have given an extra penalty. There's been a couple of instances of those happen over the times, although that one earlier in the year when the guy was there for 40 seconds, they did penalise that, so that was a good one. Now, the only other Ivor for last week was the failure to turn the camera on, so hopefully I have that right today. I think I can see myself there, so tick for getting that one right finally. But yeah, just back to that 13.3. So if the ball's overhanging the hole, you have the time that it takes to get to the ball without unreasonably delaying your play. So if you've hit one from the tee, or if you've hit one from the fairway, then yeah, it's going to take you a minute, 2 minutes, you know, knowing that other players are playing and whatnot. Might take you a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, because you might be helping someone search for their ball. And so in that case, you know, you get that extra time, but you know, that's just because you're further away from the hole. If you're chipping or you're putting, yeah, it's not going to take you as long to get there. Certainly if you're putting, it's not going to take you as long to get there. So you're not allowed to delay your play. You don't have to run up to the hole, but you're not allowed to delay your play. And then you get 10 extra seconds. Now, if you don't feel like you want to wait, you can just tap it in. If it doesn't fall in after the 10 seconds, now it is deemed to be at rest, regardless of whether you still think it's moving or not. So if it drops in now, it counts as a penalty shot. If it doesn't drop in, just tap it in. When it gets to 11 seconds, tap it in. You got no chance of holing it out with the shot before. Now, I think that is all the videos that I was going to speak about this week. So let's get into the GRQ OTW. Currently have 6 people watching me. I hope they're having a great time. You can ask a question if you want, guys. The Golf Rules question of the week is a question from my YouTube Rules of Golf community question. Some of you might know the YouTube Rules of Golf community question. I post one every 4 days on average. Now, only 6% of people got this one right. If you aren't seeing these questions, make sure to subscribe to Golf Rules questions on YouTube, and then it's in the community section. It is, of course, free, but there is also a membership model for the price of a coffee per month, basically to support what I'm doing. And there's different levels of membership. They go up towards the price of 1 coffee per week, basically. So $2 a month, or I think it's about $24 a month. This is basically a way of supporting me. So on to the question. This is the question that only 6% of people got right. I didn't think it was that hard. Episode 44, GRQ OTW. In stroke play at Wombat Hills Golf Club, that's my golf club, Stuart plays his second shot on the par 4 5th hole from the fairway and pulls it into the trees left of the green. He and his group spend 3 minutes searching for his ball but cannot find it. He returns to where he played his previous stroke from, places a ball as close to that spot as possible, and plays his next shot onto the green. He has 2 putts to hole out. What is Stuart's score for the 5th hole? Okay, let's just go over the question again. So Stuart's playing his second shot from the fairway and pulls it into the trees. They search for 3 minutes and can't find it. So Stuart goes back to where he played the shot from the fairway, places the ball as close to that spot as possible, and plays his next shot onto the green. He has 2 putts to hole out. Is Stuart's score 5, 6, 7, or 8? Multi-choice here. 5, 6, 7, or 8. Now, I've got 3 people watching. Do we have any questions for this week? Anyone want to pose a question? If not, I haven't heard anything. So, considering my technological, I'll get that one wrong, technological skills, I've probably turned off chat or something like that. So if I have, oh no, here we go. I've got one from Stuart McPhee. Good morning. Thinking of JT Poston's OB situation, how often do you see a player ask for a second opinion on professional tours? How do officials generally react to this? That's a good one, Stuart. So on the PGA Tour, and I believe I should know on the European Tour, the PGA Tour, they actually give the player, it's in the hard card, they give the player a second opinion. Like it's not automatic. Well, yeah, it is automatic. If the player says, I disagree, the referee say, I'm happy to get a second opinion, as in the referee, even if he totally can't see how anyone else would give that player free relief or whatever the player's looking for, the referee has an obligation to say, yeah, I'll get you a second opinion. That is written in, and it's one of the, I'm going to say, terms of the competition or local rule. I guess it's same terms of the competition. So that is automatic that a player gets a second opinion. Okay. If I was there in that situation, obviously if the player is allowed to get a second opinion, I'm going to give him a second opinion. If I'm 99% confident, just because I have that 1% not quite right, not 100%, I would give a player a second opinion, or get someone else to come out for a second opinion as well. There's no use me just making a mistake just because I think I know the rules. We have other resources. The annoying thing is, you'll usually find that that players will ask for, they'll either head into trouble or head into a situation genuinely, or they will ask for a referee when they are falling behind in time. It's one of their many tools that they use to put the blame on someone else. Then they say, oh, how long? They ask the referee, how long were you with that ruling? And and the referee will say, 30 seconds, a minute. And then the player will talk to another referee 2 holes later and say, oh yeah, we had a 5-minute ruling back there. And you say, no, it was only a minute. No, we were waiting for 4 minutes. You hear that so much. I don't know if the players realise that we can talk on the radio and get information to each other pretty quick. So, yeah, if a player wants a second opinion, most of the time the referee is, if they're obligated under the terms of the competition, the referee will give them the second ruling. But if we can help it, if there's not too many other referees out in the course, you just want to get the player to push on. Maybe just give someone a call, give the match referee, the boss of the committee a call and say, oh, what do you think of this? And they say, no, that's no relief, or yep, I'd give them relief. Right, that's my only question. I've had one posted comment, something about the Golf Rules question of the week 44. I think Juan's onto it. If there are no more questions, which I don't believe there are, I will sign off for another week. Hope you've enjoyed episode 44 of the Golf Rules Questions podcast. Thank you.